Ladies and gentlemen, the following is a six-man tag team contest set for one fall. Introducing team number one first. Representing Moose Nation, he is Moose.
Tomorrow night at Hard to Kill, Moose challenges Joe Hendry for the Digital Media Championship. I don't think we're going to see the Dancing Moose in this match. It's a six-man tag team match before Hard to Kill. Next. Plenty of Hard to Kill implications as we get set for this all-star six-man tag team matchup in our main event. Swann to team up with Jonathan Gresham and this man.
Since the day that he appears, I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. London and Paris and Tokyo, America, Scotland and Canada.
There he is, Tom. The inspirational, the motivational, the inventor of Dancing Moose. He's a game changer,
You told
Tom.
me I couldn't talk when he was singing, and now you're talking while he's singing.
Sir, I can't help
You're
it.
a hypocrite.
The feeling just overcomes me. Because I believe in Joe Hendry like the rest of the world, maybe except for Moose, believes in Joe Hendry. Here you wave your hands, Tommy Bear.
Joe Hendry keeping his eyes on Moose, very shrewd. Tomorrow night at Hard to Kill in Atlanta, Georgia, live on pay-per-view in Fight TV. It'll be Joe Hendry defending his Digital Media Championship against Moose.
I like Moose. He's a fantastic athlete. I just think I like Joe Hendry more.
Hard to Kill is tomorrow night. And usually, when you think of Friday the 13th, you think it's bad luck. But when you're up against Dancing Moose and his two backup dancers, when you're up against them, it's hard to say anything other than we believe. And what they believe in is Rich Swann, Jonathan Gresham, and Joe Hendry.
Well, that won't tick off Edwards, Maclin and Moose at all.
But maybe, just maybe it'll make them believe. It's all about belief. God, I believe this is going to be one hell of a main event. I'll tell you that much.
There are Hard to Kill implications all over this matchup. A all-star six-man tag team matchup here in our main event on Impact Wrestling and Access TV. And to start us off, it's Gresham and Edwards who will finally do battle tomorrow night at Hard to Kill. This was a match that was supposed to take place last year in April at the Rebellion pay-per-view.
Months really in the making between Edwards and Gresham, who Edwards immediately retreating to the corner here and tagging in Steve Maclin. Edwards avoiding Gresham, or at least playing some mind games.
Maclin familiar with Jonathan Gresham. He at one point challenged Jonathan Gresham in a series of matches for the Ring of Honor World Championship under Pure Rules, and that really ticked off Maclin a number of times to the point he got frustrated and assaulted Gresham. Does that ring a bell at all to what's going on with Maclin and Swann?
Yeah. Maclin, who has had such an incredible year, I've talked about this time and time again. Let's face it, pure rules aren't exactly Maclin's strong point. He is a hard-hitting, knockdown, drag-out fighter of a wrestler. But he's been having a hell of a 2022, and now in 2023, he's been wrong time and time again, not getting the opportunities at world championships like he deserves.
Gresham, the drop kick to the knee, very smart there. Now Gresham backs up Maclin into his team's corner. In comes the digital media champion, Joe Hendry, who is really, really ticked off Moose, and I cannot overstate that enough.
I mean, he has gotten under the skin of the wrestling god. Moose none too pleased with absolutely any of it, clearly. And it definitely didn't help. You see Moose there taking a swipe at Joe Hendry when Hendry debuted the new entrance theme that he planned for Moose, Dancing Moose.
I liked it, just don't tell Moose that I did.
Yes, we avoid the gaze of Moose when that song is playing. As right now, Hendry showing off the strength he's got. Full display here, trying to make Maclin believe.
Well, look at this, he's squat there. No reason you can't get in a workout. But the stalling suplex, Maclin kicks out at 1.
Maclin ever defying here.
A tag made, in comes Rich Swann, Maclin's opponent tomorrow night at Hard to Kill in a Falls Count Anywhere in Atlanta match. Can you imagine what these two can do tomorrow night in Center Stage and beyond?
And I want to point out something very, very important. It's a Falls Count Anywhere match for Rich Swann tomorrow, anywhere in Atlanta.
Yes.
I want to see these guys everywhere, baby, all over town. The possibilities are endless.
I'm thinking Little 5 Points, Old 4th Ward, Cabbagetown, Sweet Auburn, Castleberry Hill. Let's really explore the space in
You
the
just
ATL.
Google that, Hannafin?
No.
You just Google all those places?
No, I just know Atlanta super well.
You talked to Swinger earlier, didn't you?
I did, yeah, he's great.
As right now, Maclin now tagging, backing after Edwards opportunistically got some offense in on Jonathan Gresham.
Now Gresham, the octopus living up to his name. Look at this.
That's the octopus stretch, quickly broken up though by Edwards and Moose.
Hard to kill opponents. Center of the ring.
Tension,
Everyone
it's exploding.
firing off here in our main event. Hendry and Moose, Edwards and Gresham, Swann and Maclin.
3 separate matches tomorrow night, but exploding in the main event here tonight on Impact Wrestling.
Oh, now Hendry. Oh, and there's Eddie Edwards. Oh, what a kick by Swann.
Lights out for Edwards.
And now Swann on the outside goes after Edwards and Moose.
Big momentum on the side of Swann, who, oh, God!
Oh, single leg drop kick there by Maclin. There are bodies everywhere. It's an all-star 6-man tag team match with implications for Hard to Kill tomorrow night. This bout continues. Oh, it is an all-star 6-man tag team matchup before Hard to Kill tomorrow night, which will be live in Atlanta on pay-per-view and Fight TV. Friday the 13th means scary things, and all these Hard to Kill opponents are making it real nasty right now inside the ring.
Maclin now tagging in Eddie Edwards. And make sure you stay tuned after Impact Wrestling tonight to check out what's going down on New Japan Pro Wrestling.
And look at this, you can see Eddie Edwards is using his wrist tape as a weapon. He's been plotting that on the outside for a while. And look at Moose ripping at the dreadlocks.
Did he get what? God, he was absolutely tearing at the dreadlocks, the hair of Rich Swann.
Listen, Moose and Swann, they have a pretty ugly history in and of itself. But I think the way Moose is acting right now, it's because of Joe Hendry.
Well, there's absolutely no doubt it's because of Joe Hendry. Moose has been sick of Joe Hendry not taking him seriously. Doesn't like the way he makes his jokes, sings his songs, feels so motivated and happy all the time. I get it, it's inspiring. But Moose,
Oh my God.
to please, good Lord.
Once again, ripping at the dreadlocks. There have been chants of backup dancers.
Hey, you know what though? I will say this. As much as I like Joe Hendry, if all of this nonsense, all this back and forth brings out this side of Moose once again, that killer instinct, I'm all for it.
Speaking of a killer instinct, Eddie Edwards showed that to a degree in his recent victory against Delirious. He's attempted to put his past behind him, the likes of PCO, Delirious, and now he's dealing with Jonathan Gresham. Those two had their differences when Eddie Edwards was leading Honor No More last year.
That's right, the match we never got to see, a conclusion we were never offered. Oh! Now we get our chance. But
Swann flung on the outside there by Moose.
yeah, absolutely. Moose taking full advantage of Swann on the floor here. And now back in the ring. Oh, before taking a shot at Joe Hendry, his opponent tomorrow night at Hard to Kill.
And Moose will challenge Hendry for the Digital Media Championship tomorrow night at Hard to Kill. Meanwhile, Eddie Edwards will battle Jonathan Gresham tomorrow night at Hard to Kill. And a tag made, in comes Steve Maclin. Maclin battles his opponent right now, Rich Swann, tomorrow night at Hard to Kill in a Falls Count Anywhere in Atlanta match. Oh, and look at this! Maclin has the officials' attention. Edwards and Moose go to work.
And for not being, a regular unit here.
Suplex, here's the cover kick out.
I will say the team of Maclin, Moose, and Edwards, what a pretty damn good job of isolating Rich Swann here.
Now, Maclin has slowed things down here. Rich Swann has taken a hell of a beating here in this all-star six-man tag team matchup. 24 hours before Hard to Kill, all six of these men can ill afford a loss.
Oh, we always say it. It's almost a cliche at this point, the momentum leading into a big event, especially one like Hard to Kill. But it is so, so important.
And Moose's backup dancers, Edwards and Maclin. I'm sorry, it's funny.
Hey, this is a hell of a tap dance right now that Eddie Edwards is doing on the forehead of Rich Swann.
And in the face, and Swann still alive.
We know how resilient Rich Swann is, former Impact World Champion. When your opponents are these three right here, there's only so much you can withstand.
And a tag made, Moose tags in Maclin, and I continue to be blown away when these two reform their allegiance that was tenuous, so to speak, back in 2022. Remember Victory Road back in September? It was Maclin who beat Callahan, who now I guess this is initiated into the design, and beat Moose Barbed Wire Master, the main event of Victory Road.
That's right, that relationship between Maclin and Moose. That was the one where they both secretly told the other they were going to screw the other one.
Yes.
But hey, bygones are bygones. We are in the main event right now, trying to build that huge momentum heading to Hard to Kill.
Kick right to the face by Swann. Desperately needed a tag, and here comes the foundation, Jonathan Gresham.
Taking the other two off the apron, turning his attention to Edwards. Now Maclin. Boom!
Jonathan Gresham officially signed to Impact Wrestling, an addition of a major main event star, in my opinion.
100%. Juan says he's got unfinished business here, and that all starts with Eddie Edwards.
Gresham off the middle rope. Oh, and he takes down Maclin and Edwards. But look out.
Turn around. The foundation meet the wrestling god.
Oh, now Moose tosses Gresham to Edwards. Blue Thunder Bomb. Cover. Two legal men. Allowing a kick out by Gresham.
At the last second, Gresham getting that shoulder up, saving it for his team.
Tag.
And now it's Gresham who finds himself on the back foot in this main event matchup.
Oh! Two former world champions, and Moose and Gresham right now in the matchup. Oh, and Gresham sent it to the top turnbuckle, and Moose is throwing his weight around.
You saw that sternum first driving Gresham all the way back, and now tearing at the face of the octopus.
Oh, at the nose. And now Moose staring down his hard-to-kill opponent, the Digital Media Champion, Joe
putting
Hendry.
His hands on him, too. That almost draws Hendry all the way into the ring here.
Tag made, Maclin's legal into the matchup. Moose was doing anything he could to get the official distracted.
I will say good on Joe Hendry for thinking better of it. Not getting in, he knew that would distract the referee. Didn't want to cause Gresham any more trouble. Here comes Gresham for a tag.
There was remaining calm there in the corner. Gresham tried to scramble free. Oh! Getting away from Maclin, and a tag made to the Digital Media Champion. And look at Hendry go.
Cleaning house here in the main event.
Sending Maclin on the move. Oh, caught.
The strength of Joe Hendry. A full display.
A trust fall. And now Moose tangling with Hendry.
Looking for another one, but Moose says no.
Oh, Moose hard to the outside. And now Hendry, the fallaway slam. Turns right into a cover to put it away, and Moose saving the matchup for his team.
And now gets his hands on his opponent tomorrow night, but Rich Swann in for the save.
Oh! And now Hendry following suit after Swann.
Clears Moose from the field once again.
Oh, look at this, Hendry to the top turnbuckle, and there's Eddie Edwards.
Saw the opening there.
Oh! Hendry was nearly caught in the crosshairs. Swann ran interference. Everyone's firing off.
And there comes Gresham now. Gets Edwards. He gets Edwards.
Cutter. Oh, and Maclin levels Gresham.
Huge
Tag.
boot. Oh, I don't know if anybody else saw that one. Moose made himself the legal man. Hendry driving Maclin down. But look out, look out.
Spear by Moose. Moose legal. Hendry never saw it coming. Moose is pinned, the digital media champion.
Here are your winners, Steve Maclin, Eddie Edwards, and Moose.
A big win for Edwards, Maclin, and Moose, who becomes the first man to pin Joe Hendry since Hendry's return to Impact Wrestling late last year.
As well as momentum heading into that championship matchup. At Hard to Kill, disposing of Joe Hendry. We'll see what happens 24 hours from now.
Take a look back here at the conclusion of this matchup. It was Maclin and Hendry tied up in the middle of the ring. A blind tag here. Hendry wasn't aware of the tag. Ultimately, Moose, bam, the spear, center of the ring, and able to pin the reigning digital media champion.
All three of these men heading into very high-stakes matchups tomorrow night at Hard to Kill. Can Eddie Edwards finally put the past behind him for good? That's the question we'll find out the answer to tomorrow night at Hard to Kill.
What the hell? Whatever the hell that was. Thank you for joining us tonight. Join us tomorrow night for Hard to Kill.
I am going to do this the right way. You're gonna see me coming. Do you know who I am?
My God, no! You son of a bitch! You son of a bitch!
Don't you freaking... I'm the worst of the worst, the baddest of the bad. I'm Bully Ray, and I will be your 3-time Impact World Champion.
Impact Wrestling presents Hard to Kill this Friday on pay-per-view and Fight.